Hey guys, what's going on? It's Friday afternoon. I've just been out for a long walk in the sunshine. Beautiful here in Texas. I thought I'd do a quick video here about Jack Kellogg and his retirement trader masterclass, which he has just put up for sale. It's only $97, so absolutely nothing basically. Now, the reason I'm saying it's nothing is when you see the stats that this guy has put up or supposedly put up over the last few years, you'll be like, wow, like I can get this for $97. That's amazing. So this guy basically, he he's young. He made over 10.5 million in just 4 years using the strategy. In the webinar, he talks about how he took 10,000 and turned it into $1.8 million, which on the surface of it, I'm inclined to not believe, right? It just seems like, yeah, that's nonsense. But I know Tim Sykes and I know Jack Kellogg, at least to some extent through Tim Sykes, and I know this is the real deal. Like this guy is really legitimate. Like it sounds really crazy, but it's true. And if you can just get one little tidbit from this masterclass that changes your trading forever, it's totally worth it. So we'll get into all of that. First, I want to talk about NetPicks, though. So NetPicks is a company I recently came across, and I got a subscription to one of their systems, which is zero DTE options trading. And if you click the link in the description below, it'll take you to this page right here, and you can get your free download on how they are able to make money overnight. So you basically put on a spread the night before, so a few 10 minutes or so before market closes, and then you take profits the next day. Has a huge win rate, 80%. Really profitable system. I just did a video all about it, so hopefully you can look back in my videos if you haven't seen this and check that out. So all you have to do is enter your name, your email address, and it'll send you the free download and also a workshop and some more information about the service that they're offering, which seems really good value for money to me. So definitely check it out. I'm a member. I did a review of it. I did a blog review. I did a video review. Hopefully you guys like this system. I think it's worth the money. I think it's worth the time checking out. So definitely do that before you watch the rest of this video. So go and do it now. All right. So anyway, the Jack Kellogg Retirement Trader Masterclass. So he talks about trading in an IRA, which a lot of people probably don't do. Like if they don't do it, you should do it because you have tax-free benefits until you're 65 or something like that. I don't do it, but you can do this in any account that you want. So going down here, like basically the advertising for this is how I turned $10,000 retirement account into 1.8 million in 12 months. This seems utterly ludicrous unless you delve into the details, which is in the webinar and the interview between Tim Sykes and Jack Kellogg, which I totally, absolutely think you should check out. So if you go to the link in the description below, click on this interview between the two of these guys. Jack Kellogg learned from Tim Sykes, and Tim Sykes has made millions of dollars trading small cap stocks. So definitely check this interview out. It takes a while. You have to kind of listen to it in the background for a while, and then they give you an offer for the masterclass. It's only $97, so it's worth listening to and at least trying out the masterclass, in my opinion. That's what I found at least. So going through the little little blog post that I did here. Basically, I looked up what Jack Kellogg's all about. So I'd heard of him vaguely. I knew he's one of the super successful students from Tim Sykes, and you guys all probably know who Tim Sykes is. He turned 10,000 into a million trading penny stocks from his bar mitzvah money, probably like 20 years ago now, which is horrendous because I remember it wasn't that long after I started trading that he did this. So Tim Sykes has a lot of credibility. He slowed down his trading in terms of like how much he trades and things over the last few years. Basically, because he doesn't need to. He has millions of dollars. He doesn't need to risk losing it all, which is what you all do. What we all do if we're trading. So you've got to remember that just because you've made millions of dollars doesn't mean that you're going to continue to make millions of dollars. You could lose it all and then you'd be really mad. So so when people tell me that, oh, this can't be true, if this guy turned 10,000 into 1.8 million in 12 months, he would be a trillionaire within such and such a time frame and be the richest man ever to live. Of course, that's not true because it's just as easy to lose $1.8 million trading as it is to make it from 10,000. So, of course, these people are going to scale back their position sizes after a while. You'd be stupid not to because the strategy doesn't work forever, doesn't work in every market. you got to be careful. You have to protect what you have, right? So just because it sounds too good to be true doesn't mean that it's not true. That's what I'm trying to say here. So I researched Jack Kellogg a little bit and basically found out that he's a very interesting guy. He was raised in a small town in Connecticut. I lived in Connecticut for a while, and he didn't live in the same town as me, but he lived close to me. He didn't come from money or have any financial background to give him that head start in life, which a lot of people think that when you see these people with $18 million, which I think is what he's at now, they think, oh, they must have come from money and put 100,000 or a million or 2 million into this. No, he started very, very poor. And he talks about in the webinar, and I really encourage you to click those links and watch that webinar. It was really an interview between Tim Sykes and him. Is he had dyslexia and he was struggling academically, which meant he had to find like an alternative route to success, and that route ended up being the stock market. And that's the story of a lot of people over the years that have done exceptionally well, not just in the stock market, but in business in general. They end up giving up the academic route for the business route or the stock market route. And honestly, that's kind of what's happened with me over the years. I did, I was completely academic. I was like straight A student, went on, did a master's degree in physics, and then went did a PhD in physics. And then I found I was totally unfulfilled after 5 years of working in the physics industry. Because basically, it doesn't pay anything if you barely make ends meet. So why do that when you could actually just drop out early and work on making money from business or from the stock market? Anyway, I digress. So basically, his introduction to trading came through watching videos online through Timothy Sykes. Timothy Sykes is a very polarizing figure. Some people love him, some people hate him, some people think he's a scam, some people have made their fortunes from him. It's all dependent on who you are, what you've done, and how you follow. So he is a prominent penny stock trader. I don't know how many of you guys watching this know who he is because options have become so popular over the last few years that trading penny stocks has become kind of like a smaller thing. Whereas before, like a decade ago, it was more like penny stocks were the way to wealth because you could make 100% gains in a day or two. Whereas now it's options, you can do that. And so not as many people are purchasing Tim Sykes products probably. More people are going towards options, but there's still definitely stuff out there. It's worthwhile trying. So I remember Tim Sykes' challenge, his trading challenge. It was like $2,000 when I did it, and Kellogg enrolled in it. Unlike many others who passively consumed trading education, Kellogg went all in. He treated it as a full-time job. This is him right here. So he didn't see immediate success, none of us do. He made many small mistakes, blew up small accounts, and often felt discouraged. Instead of quitting, which most people do, 90% of people do, one loss, two losses, five losses, 10 losses, 20 losses, it doesn't matter. People mostly give up before they actually hit the way that they need to trade. So he kept refining his edge and became incredibly focused on pattern recognition, especially in low float stocks, OTC breakouts, and momentum based strategies. He learned to capitalize on the FOMO plays, where retail traders chase price action, and he developed an eye for when the hype was real and when it was time to exit, basically. So his dedication started to pay off, and he really did grow his account from $10,000 to over, I think this is actually wrong, it should say 1.8 million in roughly a year. The next year he grew it very rapidly though as well, so that might be a typo that I put in there. So because he went from 1.8 million to like 18 million pretty quickly. Anyway, this caught the attention of the trading world. Obviously, a lot of people think he's lying. He has shown tons of plots and graphs and screenshots over the years, some of which you'll find in that video link. This one right here, this interview with Tim Sykes. Of course, you can choose to believe or not believe what you want. That's up to you. Some people think it might be fake, photoshopped, whatever. But basically, this guy is a beast. And for $97, if you enroll in his masterclass, if you learn just one or two money management techniques, it's going to be worth it, you know, easily. So he's been featured on so many trading podcasts, live events, webinars. He's been hailed as Tim Sykes' like biggest student, even bigger than people like Roland Wolf. If you guys have ever heard of Roland Wolf, I think that's his name. He was also a very successful Sykes student as well. So he is transparent. He does show his successes and his losses, and especially in his master class, he goes through what made him lose his biggest losses, like what was the problem, so you don't have to go through the same thing. And he basically said in his interview with Tim Sykes that if he was to give anybody advice like to his younger self, he would give them the advice that he has in this masterclass for 97 bucks, which is amazing because it would have completely changed his curve. Instead of years, it would have taken much less time to make this type of money. So he talks a lot about the emotional aspect of trading, the fear of losses, all this kind of stuff. I'll leave a link to this whole thing in the description below. I highly encourage you to check out some of these other links that I have here. So Tim Sykes' $7 weekend windfall training is really good. The XGPT review. That has a lot of good stuff in it. You should definitely check that product out. It's really good. The money bar is really good if you get up early in like small cap, low float stocks, that's for sure. Supernova trading is really good. And Tim Bowen's Supernova partner, which is Tim Sykes, also revealed, is also really good. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Hopefully you realize that this is not impossible. There are people, and this guy is an outlier. Jack Kellogg is an outlier. I'm not saying this is the norm, but if you really do follow the outliers, then there's really no barrier holding you back from becoming an outlier yourself. So definitely check out this whole like little article here. Make sure you check out the review between Tim Sykes and Jack Kellogg. I think you get a free download and a free like not just the interview, but you also get like you get a bunch of different things in here, which is definitely worth free time that it takes to do it. So definitely check it out. Make sure also that you check out the NetPicks zero DTE options trading. I know this is really popular at the moment, so you'll probably go to this rather than Tim Sykes stuff, but definitely check out both. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what you can learn from both of these people, Jack Kellogg and also Mike from Zero DTE Options Trading Success. I'll put all the links in the description below. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll do some follow-up videos on this in the future. All right, guys, hope you have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.